If XLOOKUP and VLOOKUP are pulling different answers, it usually isn't random. It's your data, your match settings, or the way each function searches. And the scary part is that both results can look believable. In this video, you'll learn the most common reasons the results don't match, and how to diagnose the exact cause fast. We'll start with the biggest trap, approximate matching, because one small default can change everything. Then we'll cover lookup direction, duplicate keys, and why column inserts break one function but not the other. You'll also see how blanks, spaces, and number as text issues quietly create mismatches. Finally, we'll build a simple checklist you can reuse anytime a lookup feels off. The goal is not just to fix one spreadsheet, it's to make your lookups predictable and auditable. Next step. Before we troubleshoot, let's align on how each function thinks. VLOOKUP searches in the first column of a table, then returns a value from a column number you specify. That column number is positional, so if your table shifts, the meaning shifts. XLOOKUP is different. You explicitly give it a lookup array and a return array, so it's less fragile when columns move. Another key difference is direction. VLOOKUP only searches left to right, and it returns the first match it encounters from the top. XLOOKUP can search in either direction, and it can be told to return the first or the last match. Also, XLOOKUP has an explicit match mode setting. That makes it easier to be precise, but it also means your results can differ if the two formulas are truly configured the same. So when results don't match, think different rules, not Excel is broken. Next step. The number one reason results don't match is approximate match. In VLOOKUP, if you omit the last argument, Excel assumes approximate match. That means it will return the closest match that is less than or equal to your lookup value. If your table isn't sorted correctly, the answer can be wrong but still look reasonable. XLOOKUP behaves differently. Its default is exact match, which is usually what people expect. So you might have a VLOOKUP quietly doing approximate matching, while XLOOKUP is doing exact matching, and they disagree. The fix is simple. Be explicit. In VLOOKUP, use false for exact match. In XLOOKUP, use match mode 0 for exact match. Then, if you truly need approximate matching, make sure you understand the rules and sort requirements. Approximate matching is powerful for things like tax brackets or pricing tiers, but it's dangerous for IDs and names. Next step. Even with exact match, you can still get different answers because of duplicates. If your lookup key appears more than once, both functions must choose which record to return. VLOOKUP returns the first match it finds from top to bottom. XLOOKUP also returns the first match by default, but it can be configured to return the last match instead. That sounds small, but it's huge in real data. Think of a product list where old prices weren't removed, or a customer table with multiple addresses. If one formula is returning the first occurrence and the other is returning the last, your numbers won't match. The real fix is to decide what correct means. Do you want the latest record, the earliest record, or do you need to aggregate? Once you decide, you can either clean duplicates or use XLOOKUP search mode intentionally. And if duplicates are unexpected, treat that as a data quality bug, not a formula bug. Next step. Another common mismatch comes from lookup direction and left lookup. VLOOKUP cannot return values to the left of the lookup column, so people often restructure the table or they choose a different lookup column just to make VLOOKUP work. XLOOKUP doesn't have that limitation. You can look up in one column and return from any other column, left or right. That means two formulas that look similar might not actually be using the same key. For example, your VLOOKUP might be forced to use a surrogate key, like a concatenated field, while XLOOKUP uses a clean ID column. If those keys don't align perfectly, results won't match. When you compare formulas, verify the lookup value and the lookup array are truly the same concept. Don't just compare the returned value. Many mystery mismatches are really different keys problems caused by VLOOKUP's left-to-right constraint. Next step. Let's talk about a mismatch that appears after you edit the sheet. Inserting or deleting columns. VLOOKUP depends on a column index number like 3 or 7. If you insert a column inside the table, that index can now point to the wrong field. Your formula still calculates, but it's returning a different column than you intended. XLOOKUP is more resilient because it references the return array directly. If you insert a column, the referenced return range usually stays correct. So you might see XLOOKUP returning the right value and VLOOKUP returning a different but plausible value. The fix is to stop trusting column index numbers. If you must use VLOOKUP, consider building the column index with match on the header name, or move to XLOOKUP where the return range is explicit. Either way, the key idea is structural edits can silently change VLOOKUP's meaning. Next step. Now for the sneaky data issues: spaces, non-printing characters, and inconsistent casing. With exact match, a trailing space makes two values different. ABC is not the same as abc.text. If one dataset comes from a system export, it may contain hidden characters that you can't easily spot. Both VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP will fail to match, but the way you handle not found can make it look like a mismatch. One formula might return blank, another might return a custom message, and you assume they found different records. The practical fix is to normalize the key. Trim removes extra spaces. Clean removes some non-printing characters. And if case sensitivity matters, know that both functions are case-insensitive in normal use. If you truly need case-sensitive matching, you'll need a different approach. Most of the time, the win is simply cleaning the lookup column so exact match behaves like you expect. Next step, another big one, is numbers stored as text. An ID like 00123 might be text in one table and a number in another, or a value like 123 might look numeric but is actually text because of an apostrophe or import settings. Exact match sees those as different types, so the lookup fails. Sometimes VLOOKUP appears to work because of implicit conversion in certain contexts, while XLOOKUP stays strict, or vice versa. The right move is to standardize the data type in your key columns. If it's an ID, often it should be text, so leading zeros are preserved. If it's a true number, convert both sides to numeric. You can use value to convert text numbers, or text to force a consistent text format. Once types match, your lookups become stable. If your results don't match, check type consistency before you blame the formula logic. Next step. Let's cover error handling because it can hide the real problem. XLOOKUP has an optional if not found argument. Many people set it to blank, 0, or a friendly label. VLOOKUP often gets wrapped in if error to do the same. Here's the catch. If error also hides other errors, like a broken range, a hashtag value issue, or a wrong column index. So you can end up comparing a real value from XLOOKUP to a masked error from VLOOKUP, and it looks like a mismatch. The fix is to debug without error wrappers first. Let the raw errors show you what's happening. Then add error handling back in a targeted way. For VLOOKUP, consider if NA instead of if error when you only want to catch not found. For XLOOKUP, keep the if not found message specific, like no match, so blanks don't get mistaken for real data. Next step. Now let's build a quick mismatch checklist you can run in under a minute. First, confirm both formulas use exact match settings. Second, verify the lookup value is identical, including spaces and data type. Third, confirm the lookup array is the same key column in both cases, not a workaround key. Fourth, check for duplicates in the key and decide whether you want first or last match. Fifth, validate that the return field is the intended column, especially if VLOOKUP uses a hard-coded index. And finally, temporarily remove if error or custom not found outputs so you can see genuine failures. If you walk through these steps, you'll usually find the cause quickly. And once you do, you can fix it in a way that prevents the mismatch from coming back the next time someone inserts a column or pastes in a new export. The goal is repeatable reliability, not one-off repair. Next step. So which function should you use when accuracy matters? If you're maintaining older workbooks, VLOOKUP is still common, and it can be perfectly fine when you lock down exact match and protect the structure. But for most new work, XLOOKUP is easier to read, harder to break with column changes, and more flexible with search direction and not found handling. The bigger lesson is that lookups are only as trustworthy as the key you're matching on. Clean keys, consistent types, and a clear rule for duplicates will do more for correctness than any single function choice. If you want a simple rule, use XLOOKUP by default, and treat VLOOKUP as a legacy tool you handle carefully. Before you wrap up, take one of your own spreadsheets where results don't match, and run the checklist. you'll almost always find one of these root causes. If you want more Excel deep dives like this, subscribe. And for a quick pulse check, comment, do you prefer XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP, A or B? I'm always testing new ways to work smarter. Subscribe to see what workflow I'm breaking down next.